Good evening again, and we're briefly, very briefly, going to rush through this lecture today. And this is basically going to be an overview of what this course is pretty much going to give to you. So by the time you complete this course, you will have an in-depth understanding of most of the material that I'm going to summarize tonight. So again, I'd like to welcome you to the first quarter offering of the course. And like I said, this is it's a 10-week course. 7 weeks basically going to entail your reading materials, your live lectures on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. You basically have to log in for that module to see which day that lecture is going to hold. Your discussion posts are due on Wednesday, your assignments are due on Friday, and the quiz is due on Sunday. Now, what exactly is health informatics? Health informatics is basically the process where we use information to improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of delivering healthcare services. And we're basically using information in conjunction with computer technology. And there are various aspects of health informatics. You have clinical informatics, when you're using this information to directly affect patient or clinical health of patients. Health informatics, when, for example, what you're learning in the CEHRS course, when you have when you're involved in things like electronic medical records or research or analysis of data, bioinformatics, and so on and so forth. So it deals basically with devices and methods required to optimize acquisition, knowledge, and retrieval of information used in healthcare. So informatics is a very new field in the American healthcare system. And I like to approach informatics from the perspective of top down. So we're going to look at, during this course, what the federal government's role is in health informatics in the United States. And in this regard, the federal government has put into place a structure called the National Health Information Organization, or it has recently been changed to the Nationwide Health Information Network. And it's basically a network throughout the United States that helps to connect health information centers, for example, your centers in hospitals or centers in regional health information networks and so on and so forth. So the national network is put together by the federal government, and the federal government has oversight over it. And its main purpose is to see to the seamless interchange or exchange of healthcare information from one area of the country to another. So once you're within the contiguous 50 states, United States, you will sooner or later be connected to this network. But the network, the federal government cannot manage everything. So they're basically managing just the national network. So the national network has to be broken down. And in breaking down the national network, you have what is called regional health information organizations. Now, up until now, most regional health, if you Google RIO or regional health information organization, you will find out that most of the time we're talking about states, regional health information organizations. For example, you might have the state of New York, the state of Georgia, the state of California. So if you Google your state and regional health information organization, if your state has one, it will pull it up. For example, I know New York has a regional health information organization. California has a regional health information organization. The regional health information organization is basically made up of healthcare entities within that state that are connected together to exchange healthcare information. So within a state, you can have healthcare establishments that are networked together to exchange healthcare information. So if you see a doctor in Presbyterian Hospital, New York, and you go to the Baptist Hospital in upstate New York, and both hospitals are connected to the Regional Health Information Organization, then the physician at the Baptist Health or the Baptist Hospital in upstate New York will be able to access your records that were produced at the Presbyterian Health in New York City. So that's just an example of how the regional health information networks or organizations work. So the physical entities that make up the network is what you refer to as a regional health information organization. Now, each state is now responsible for connecting to the national network. So let's say, for instance, New York has a regional health information organization, and the state of California has a regional health organization, and they're both connected up to the national health information network. Then if you leave New York and you go to California for a visit, then the physician in California will be able to access your medical record. So that's basically how it's set up. Now, there's also something called the Health Information Exchange. The Health Information Exchange is sometimes used interchangeably with the term Regional Health Information Organization, or RHIA. So HIE is basically short for Health Information Exchange, and it's sometimes used interchangeably in terms of the terms with the Regional Health Information Network. However, if you are an informatics specialist, as you guys are, going to get your first certificate when you graduate, the terms are somewhat different. If you remember, when I explained the Regional Health Information Organization, I talked about a collection of agencies that come together. For example, the Baptist Hospital, the Presbyterian Hospital, and all the other hospitals and ambulatory centers within the state of New York come together to make up the Regional Health Information Organization. Well, they have to make up that within a platform. So how do they make that up? Well, they make that up with technology. So there's supposed to be a technological connection. What's the technology? How is one hospital wired with the next hospital? Well, the process, the technology that governs the Regional Health Information Organization is what you call the Health Information Exchange. So I hope you guys understand a little bit of difference here. But basically, the Health Information Exchange is the technological platform that the Regional Health Information Organization will use when connecting one entity within that network to another entity. Okay? So, we've talked about the National Health Information Network, or the nationwide information network. We've talked about the Regional Health Information Organizations, or the RHIOs, and the RHIOs come together to produce the national network. But of course, you have other health record entities that have to come together to form the RHIO. So we're kind of breaking it down from the federal to the state, from the state to the individual organizational networks. And The electronic health record is any collection of patient data within a database that belongs to an entity that feeds into the regional health information network. So for example, the Presbyterian hospital that we used in the last example, even though they connect to the regional health information network, they have to have their own electronic medical record. So their electronic medical record is called an electronic health record. When the Presbyterian hospital orders labs for its patients, the lab has to record the individual lab results within a database. That database can also feed the regional health information network. So the lab database is also a type of electronic health record. When the CDC collects information, and for those of you who are not too sure what I meant by CDC, I mean the Centers for Disease Control, or maybe your state health department. When they collect information about the population in your state,